Hello, everyone, and welcome. Let's get right into it because if you're in South India, your weather is about to get really, really active. We've got a new system brewing in the Bay of Bengal. And believe me, it's going to drive a whole lot of rain across the region. So let's break down exactly what's coming for September 21st, and more importantly, why. So the big question on everyone's mind, is a new low-pressure system actually forming out there in the Bay of Bengal? Well, the answer is a definitive yes. And this system, it's going to be the main weather story for the entire region over the next few days. Okay, let's dive into what's actually causing all this. It's super important to understand that the widespread rain we're seeing isn't just coming from one single place. Nope. It's actually a combination of several different weather systems all interacting across the country. Think of it like a team effort. The main player, our primary driver, is this cyclonic circulation that's moving west from Myanmar. Now, a circulation is just a big-scale rotation of air, but it's not working alone. It's getting a serious boost from two other systems, one way up in northwest Uttar Pradesh and a low-pressure area over central India. That low-pressure system acts like a weather engine, just pulling in all this moist air, which then rises up to form clouds and rain. All three are working together to drag moisture right across the south. And this main system has a very clear path ahead of it. It all kicked off near Myanmar, and right now it's making its way into the Bay of Bengal. By the 24th, we expect it to consolidate, to really bulk up into a proper low-pressure area. And from there, the conditions are just right for it to get even stronger, maybe even into a deep depression. This is absolutely the system we need to be watching. All right, let's start our state-by-state breakdown, and we'll begin with Kerala. The big story here is widespread and, frankly, continuous rainfall for the foreseeable future. The impact in Kerala really depends on where you are. If you're in the northern districts, Kasaragod, Kannur, Kozhikode, you're on alert for the heaviest spells of rain. Now, as you move into the central districts, pretty much all of them, you're looking at moderate to heavy rain. And then way down south around Thiruvananthapuram, things should be a bit lighter with just some showers. Next up, let's move north to Karnataka. The state is also set to get some pretty significant rainfall, with moderate to heavy showers expected across a lot of districts. And wow, this list of affected areas in Karnataka is pretty long. We're talking key cities like Bengaluru and Mysuru, plus the coastal and northern districts. They are all likely to see that moderate to heavy rain. Most other parts of the state can probably expect some lighter, more scattered showers. Now let's look at Andhra Pradesh and Telangana together, because both states are facing very active monsoon conditions, with widespread thunderstorms right across the board. Okay, for Andhra Pradesh, let's split it up. The Rayalaseema region, so districts like Kurnool and Tirupati, is really set for those widespread thunder showers. At the same time, the coastal and central districts, from Nellore all the way up to Srikakulam, are bracing for more sustained, moderate to heavy rain. And over in Telangana, we've got a few hotspots to keep an eye on. Mahabubabad, Kottagudem, and Khammam, that's where the heaviest rain is possible. Hyderabad and its suburbs, you can expect some moderate to heavy showers. And for most other districts, the forecast is calling for widespread light to moderate rainfall. Okay, it's time for a deep dive into Tamil Nadu, where the forecast is honestly a bit more complex. It really varies quite a bit depending on the region, so let's break it down. Looking at this breakdown for Tamil Nadu, you can see that the southern tip is going to see the lightest rain. But the central, the western, the northern, and the coastal regions are all looking at moderate to heavy rain. So the big takeaway here is that most of the state is in for a pretty significant wet spell. Of course, there's always one question on everyone's mind in Tamil Nadu, and that is, what's the forecast for Chennai? So the forecast for Chennai is, well, it's uncertain. The steering winds just aren't really favorable to push the rain directly into the city. But there is a chance that some of that heavy rain we're forecasting for the neighboring Chengalpattu and Kanchipuram districts could kind of drift over. So like the source says, if we're lucky, Chennai might see some of those showers. So with all that said, let's wrap this up by looking at the bigger picture. What should we be expecting over the next few days? Okay, so the main takeaway is this. Remember that low-pressure system we saw developing in the Bay of Bengal? As it keeps getting stronger and moving west, it's going to act like a giant magnet for moisture, just pulling it in from the Arabian Sea. This means we can expect the rainfall to really intensify, especially all along the west coast. The next few days are going to be very, very active. This is really just the beginning of a much more active weather period.
So the real question isn't just about what the weather will be tomorrow, it's, are you ready for this next phase of changes? That's our breakdown for now. Stay informed and stay safe.